Any organization putting out AI systems will want its systems to act ethically. Otherwise, they could be ethical in certain ways that would be discriminatory or lack transparency. Let's look at these different ethical principles of AI, starting by the first one, which is fairness. So, for these different characteristics, I want you to first understand that an organization should really set these up as objectives so that these different principles, when put in place, will be adhered to. So, when looking at the principle of fairness, we want to make sure that our system, for instance, for looking through different candidate CVs, would avoid discrimination of certain people for promotion or for employment. So we need to make sure that our system avoids discrimination or bias, that it can be explainable, that it can be explained as to its decisions. If a system finally decides on a candidate, we need to be able to query the system, and we need to believe that the system is actually honest in the answers that it gives about its decision of why this candidate was chosen over another candidate, and that we would have someone, a responsible human adult, which could look at this understanding of the decision and be accountable for the results. So finally, if an AI makes a decision about a certain candidate, a person, a loan, a wording to give out to a final user, then we need to understand that this has been or could be reviewed by someone who can actually be accountable for the results. You cannot give the defense to say, oh, my AI did it, it's not my fault. Now, I get mad, for instance, at my post office for saying, my post carrier, for saying, oh, it's not us, it's our supplier who made a mistake. And I don't take that as an excuse because that's your supplier. But it's the same thing for an AI system. The AI system is supposed to work for you. It doesn't matter if it was made by a third party. You are using that AI system. You, as an organization, are responsible for the outputs, for the improper decisions that it makes. It's a trading algorithm given the power to actually make trades by itself, because quite frankly, us humans were not quick enough. You would never, a trading organization using an AI algorithm would never be able to say, oh, it's not us, it's the AI that made a wrong decision. They would never be able to say that. They are accountable for this. They are responsible for the use of their own AI system. The systems need to be reliable. They need to be safe. So a few things here. We want the data to be safe. So for instance, you are giving information to your trading algorithm, for instance, about your current positions, so that your current positions can be taken into account for future trades. Now imagine that's not private. Maybe it's already linked to beneficial owners, people who have actually invested. Here we're talking about extremely confidential things. So if these systems are linked, and that say you could do an inversion attack, get back to the underlying data, understand that we have so-and-so celebrity who's a beneficial owner, or here are the other trades that the organization has done. And so we could understand certain things which would be delicate to say the least. So we need to ensure that we have reliable systems that give outputs on a consistent manner, and that our data, our inputs, or even our outputs provide safety and are safe themselves. We have privacy and security issues. We must respect the privacy of data. Our beneficial owners in an investment organization, of course, do not want everyone necessarily knowing about all of their trades. Not everyone has disclosure requirements, and so we wouldn't want that to be public. Not that I have much to trade with, but I wouldn't want everyone to know about my private clumsy investment decisions and be laughed at for wrong decisions. Not that I have much to hide, but that might be my own little privacy requirement for this AI system that might have access to my confidential data. We would have ethical values that would need to be put into an AI system adhere to moral or ethical standards. We have, for instance, different chat bots or different AI systems that are going to communicate with people if they behave in certain ways. If, for instance, it's a video feed that the AI is getting, and say if it picks up certain characteristics of a person based on voice, intonation, or if it has even video feed directly, the appearance, then it would not be able, supposedly, or should not be able, to act in a way that would be different for certain of its users. It needs to adhere to moral and ethical standards, in other words. It needs to have human control. It's a little bit linked to responsibility here, except responsibility is an organization cannot say, oh, it's someone else legally because it was the AI system. Here, humans need to remain in control for final decisions. There should be the principle that any decision taken by an AI should be able to be replicated by a human and usually arrive at the same or similar decision if all the inputs really would point towards that kind of decision. There's always kind of a probabilistic nature to these things. In other words, nothing is set in stone, but that humans should be able to take control to give a process similar to another and be able to stop, for instance, an AI system if it is getting out of hand. As the old adage goes, never trust a computer that you can't throw out of a window. Trustworthiness. We need to have a consistency of result, a security of information, all of these different things that with time will help build trust in the systems that you have in place, and that can inspire trust that your system is working correctly. Some of these things that help inspire trust is that you have a robust way of bringing out problems. So when problems do occur, they are identified, they are treated, and they can build back into the system to improve trust in the system in the future. That we have accountability to manage the impact of errors or consequences from the system. And finally, there's this big idea that we have a shared benefit, that they would be distributed fairly. Now, AI, of course, it's a very difficult thing to do, that the benefits of AI would be shared equally, but I really believe that our societies should work in a way that these new technologies can be of benefits to all in society and not just some of us.